Hi, welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. I am Michelle, the race director at Hennepin 100 and all the Ornery Mule racing events. And tonight I'll let everybody introduce themselves that's here with us tonight. The usuals.
Yeah, I'm Nikki. I don't know, I work for Ornery Mule, and I think my tagline is I try to anticipate everything Michelle possibly needs. Yep.
I'm Sid. I just do everything else.
Which is a lot.
Yes.
I'm just here. I'm Faith. I'm her daughter.
And
That's
you did what for the race?
I drove the DNF bus. That's what I did.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
that was really
that was
cool.
fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tonight we're here to talk about the Hennepin 100, the 2023 Hennepin 100 race. And I'll give you a little bit of history about the race. We're on the 8th race happening. There was one race that didn't happen in 2020, so it would have been the 9th year.
You did do a virtual though, right?
We had a virtual race,
but
and
it
a bunch of
didn't-
people
not-
came out
Okay.
race weekend, and I just happened to camp there on race weekend, and some people ran
On the
by.
canal?
Yeah,
Oh,
in 2020.
fun. I didn't
yeah.
know that.
At the
Okay.
50-mile finish line.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and actually at that race, Mike Rickelson, he came to do the 100, and we were camping on where the Yeti aid station is,
Yeah.
right on the bridge there. And he came, and I was sleeping, and I happened to get up, and I saw him coming, and I got out of the car, and then I got to pace him for a little bit.
Oh,
of
fun.
it. So that was but he was just doing out and backs.
Okay.
So the
Get his
year
100?
it was
Did he
really
get his
fun.
100?
He did not, but he
Okay.
worked really hard. He was really close. I'm pretty sure he made it at least 80 miles.
Awesome.
It was really good, but it had to have been really hard because there was
Not
other
support.
people out there, but it was just him and his family and just doing out and backs.
Okay.
In that section. But yeah, so yeah, that was a special year even, and it was gorgeous. It was so pretty there watching the stars in the sky.
Sure, it
and
was fantastic weather the year that we couldn't.
It was.
Yeah.
It was cool, of course. And then this year,
the weather
the
was
2023 was the perfect race weather, the best race weather I think we've ever had there.
Okay.
And the times showed
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people were just tearing it up on the course. Should we go? What do you think we should do? Do you guys want to hear about the times, or should we just go in of us driving down there and the setup of the race?
Let's do
and-
chronological.
Okay. So when we put on a race, there's things that happen, and it'll take a while for us to, it's not just like we show up the night before and then all of a sudden it's there.
Right.
I go down there on Tuesday, and I mean, we've spent months, packing to be able to drag all this stuff down there in a bunch of different trucks and then be able to unload it and get it to the right spot. And so I go down on Tuesday, and I stay at Ed's house, Ed and Diane, and then Ed and I go out, and it takes us 2 days to mark the course. And we've got a system down. We know all the spots that we need to mark, but it's just, since it's point to point, it's easy, but you got to drive 60 miles to
It's
get
far.
someplace
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
put up a couple signs. And then you have to kind of plan out how you're going to do that. And so that went really well. We did have one, when I picked up signs, I did have a couple wrong way signs that were stolen. I'm wondering if they were there during the race.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it was, it's where you go under a bridge right before you go to the 50-mile finish line. If anybody's listening and ran the race, I'd like to know if those were there during the race
Okay.
or if they got stolen during the race. But you can't, there's a wrong way sign, but you would just get to a bridge that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it would
if you-
clearly make no sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we had flags going through the whole intersection. And they were reflective flags.
Okay.
So I think that it would have been fine, but that was kind of a bummer because those signs are like $50 a piece, and I had 2 of them there, and they weren't there when I got back. But what else? So then,
So that was Tuesday, Wednesday for you,
yeah,
marking the course.
and then you guys came down on on Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesday, we got there kind of late. We were waiting on bibs here. So we got the bibs. We took off.
Yeah, the Bibs took a tour on their way.
Yeah, the bibs got almost to Crystal Lake, and then they went to some like tiny town south of like southern Illinois, and then they came back. So we had to wait for them. And then we set the finish line up on Thursday, which is a little new for us because Royal they're busy with other things. Yeah. The Royals, we have the Royals and the Jeffs.
Yeah.
So that was a new experience for me and Sid, but it worked out great. It was a little windy on Thursday, so there were some things that we didn't do.
Yeah.
But then we had volunteers.
We did everything.
We did it, but then we
we
undid some things, and we decided to save it for the next day, which didn't happen the next day because that's when the wind really hit.
Yeah.
But that was pretty smooth, and I mean, it takes hours and hours. Really, I mean, for Hennepin, I mean, in my, like, the way I look at Hennepin especially, like, people always ask me, like, what's your biggest race? We have a few very big races, but Hennepin, because it's a lot of people running far away from the start and the finish, it's, to me, that's our biggest thing. And then we get there, and the lead into it, once the race starts, pretty much almost done. You know what I mean? Like during the race, there's some work to do, but it's getting everybody started. It's just so much work, you know, that I'm just like so excited. By like, I don't know, 4 o'clock on Saturday, 4 p.m., I'm like, oh, great. Now I just get to watch people finish and just have a good time and just like cheer people on. And, you know, it's just like the hard work is already done at that point.
Yeah, I mean, because there's 20 aid station staffs.
Oh, I know.
And they're all different areas, and they're all highly supported tents and tables and volunteer gifts.
Yeah.
You know, getting that to everybody. It's a beast of a race to put on. I mean, it is. It's fun. We got a good system, and over the years, we've learned we got really good volunteers that have helped us learn.
And aid station people doing those aid stations. Like they've embraced them as their own, you know? So, I mean, yes, of course we do a lot. And I know Royal would be somebody who would say how they work so hard, like supplying the aid stations, but every aid station you hit is different than the other, and it's 20. Yeah. There's 20, it's so many aid stations.
Yeah.
But so like then Friday for packet pickup, so this year, it wasn't rainy, and it was like on Thursday, it was hot. It was like in the 80s, and then it cooled off, which was great. But then it was so windy, and it was much windier in Kelowna than it was here in Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the other thing. They wrapped that pavilion so well. That
was the city of Kelowna.
Yeah, the city of Kelowna came out, and they were super adamant about making sure that it was like workable for us, and because it was. I mean, 25, 26 mile per hour gusts.
Yeah, every once in a while the wind would catch that thing
would
and
scare the heck out of everybody in there. Yeah, it was loud, but you know, we made it work and everybody was fine. And that packet pickup's pretty quick because you guys have the pre-race meeting over at the school.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone has to they get in there, they get their stuff done, and then they go to the pre-race meeting.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to go to Kelowna, and it's a pretty big area. You're along the canal. When the weather is nice and you're not like blowing away, it's fun to like just talk to everybody, take pictures together.
It was good. I mean, as long as normally, we spread out a little bit more, but it worked out in the pavilion. That worked pretty well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that it went really well. So then you guys got that new wagon, which was really cool. So I grabbed the wagon to head over to the pre-race meeting. And then Phil Young was our speaker, and he's, you know, course record winner of many of our races in the past. And so I grabbed my wagon. I'm walking over, and it kind of started to rain just a little bit.
It drizzled for like 5 minutes,
Yeah, when I was walking over there. And I get over, and they're like, which door are we supposed to go into? And I'm like, the gym door. They go, well, I think it's locked. So I go over, and the door that I'm supposed to be going into is locked. And so I'm like, oh, great. We've got, 600 runners here.
Right.
And I've got my little speaker that needs to plug in. And so John Swan, he's the fire chief. I had already called him a couple times that day to get the thing wrapped early and stuff.
Yeah.
He can kind of take care of anything.
Yep.
So I called up John. I go, hey, do you know anybody at the school? They were supposed to have it unlocked for me, and it's not unlocked yet. And he goes, oh yeah, I know somebody. I'll call them.
Okay.
He goes, and if not, he goes, we're gonna start pulling the trucks out at the fire station right now, and you guys can just have the meeting in the fire station.
Oh my gosh.
So then he hangs up the phone. And then it was like seconds later, all of a sudden 3 4x4s come with firemen on it and a bunch of tools. They were going to break into the school. They were trying to pick the lock so we could get in to the school.
Did they do it?
Well, then John called and he had gotten a hold of the superintendent.
Okay.
And somebody local had the key and they were going to come over. So we were in there and set up. We weren't late at all.
Right.
I was just supposed to get in early so I could get my speakers set up.
Oh my goodness.
And but that's the Kelowna Fire Department and the city of Kelowna, they will take care of anything for you.
I think this is the third Hennepin I've been at the finish line. They still amaze me.
Yeah.
In Faith will talk about Tara.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I love her. Love them.
You gotta get closer to the mic. Okay. Well, tell them what Tara did for you.
Well, right away, Tara was like, if you guys need anything, me and my best friend Jaden, she was like, if you need anything, literally, if the bathrooms are gross, I will walk you up to the fire station myself, and you guys can pee in there. You guys, if you need to take naps, showers, anything, the entire fire station, all of them were so amazing to both of us, to every single person that I saw them interact with.
And Tara is Matt's husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
or Matt's wife. Matt's her husband, yeah.
And I believe she's the president of the Kelowna Fire Department Auxiliary.
Okay.
And they're the ones that cooked all the food.
They do all the food. Oh, it's just so,
so
that's...
good.
Homemade, yummy, good stuff.
Yes, delicious. Yeah. They feed everybody the entire time.
Yeah.
They just do that. But then she gave you a tour of the fire.
Oh yeah,
right?
They gave me a tour. They told me I could drive the fire truck. Did I? No, not yet.
She didn't have time. Next year.
Next year. I'm waiting. But yeah, no, they gave us a full-on tour and everything.
Yeah.
They were so amazing.
Kelowna comes out.
Yeah,
and
they really it's just great.
And then they have the cadets there, which are
sweet.
They started young, they were little when we first started, and they love to volunteer because they get to stay up all night.
And they get to drive the Gators,
Yeah.
which they really, really like. Yeah, so if you have to ask for something heavy, they're like, oh yeah, I'll go get it. And they really did. They anything I asked them, and I actually quit asking Tara or anyone else. I just found a cadet and I'm like, hey, I need 2 tables. Can you go find the chairs? We needed extra chairs.
Yeah.
And they just took care of it.
Yeah,
It was
they're
awesome.
Great. Yeah, so Kelowna Fire Department is 100% volunteer fire department.
I can't believe that.
I know, it blows me away.
Yeah.
And so they formed this cadet system to encourage people to
It's
get
like Boy
into
Scouts for a
volunteering.
fire department.
Yeah, it's really cool. But because of the race and because of the runners, we were able to give the fire department a $2,500 donation. They deserve more.
No,
Yeah.
And some hugs. We gave them hugs.
So Friday night, when you were walking over to the school, I was at the stop sign and you were trying to cross the street. So I beeped my mule horn at you.
Yeah.
So I had to drive up to Sinisippi Park to the starting line.
Oh, right.
Friday night to put up signs for the start. So I got up there. It's 45-minute drive to get up there. And so I grabbed all the signs and flags to mark the first 2 or 3 miles to the bridge. And I parked in the park knowing that the gate closed at dusk. And started out on the trail. And I'm putting down signs, and I'm carrying them all with me, and I'm it's getting dark, and the trains are going by. It was kind of cool, and finally I thought, I should see what time dusk is. So I look on my phone, and dusk is 7 o'clock, and it was 6:42, and I was about 2 miles away from my van. So I put all the signs and flags.
Sid PR'd his 2 miles.
I put all my signs and flags under a park bench, and I just hauled ass all the way back to Mississippi Park, and it was 6:58 when I drove out of that park.
Wow.
Oh my god! Because
That
it's
gate would have closed.
yeah, it's auto.
automatically.
It says
Yeah.
right on there that they auto open and close.
Yeah, so don't leave your car at the park.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's good. Yeah, and the course was marked well. We have to do that part on Friday because that goes through neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And the other part, nobody ever messes that. Those 2 wrong way signs are the only signs I've ever known of to be. And I don't know if they were messed with or if somebody picked them
Maybe
up
someone-
early.
yeah,
I
maybe-
really don't know
maybe
what
we picked him
happened.
up, Yeah.
Yeah. So what should we
So
talk
we made
about?
it to race morning. Let's say.
Oh, yeah,
right?
we
so we all
stayed
stay,
at-
like everyone stays at the Super 8, right?
Yeah. Not the best.
we'll just leave it at that. And by everybody, I mean like we showed up, like you got there early. We got there much later. You were there before me.
Yeah, I was there.
She had Brian Simonik, I don't know if I'm saying it, texting
Yeah.
her like, hey, I saw Sid's van. So they were there. Ryan was there. We don't know how many people were there. We do know that lots of smoke alarms went off. It was a cold night, but we all got to sleep and we all were close to the start.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
because
was
Rock
nice.
Falls has
It's-
a lot of hotels.
Yeah, and it was real
And they're-
close.
Yeah, it's just like one road.
Right.
And then you're right by the Casey's that has great coffee.
Good coffee,
Nice,
yeah.
clean, really nice. All the Casey's are really nice.
So
yeah.
and then the same guy who sang the national anthem.
Yeah, so Todd McMillan.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Really,
So
really good.
Yeah.
That's I'm so glad that we've been able to do that every year.
It's
of
so
the Hennepin.
fun.
And because he wasn't, I think last year he was like on vacation or something.
No, he sang last year.
Did he sing
Yeah,
last year? There was one year
Maybe the
that
year before.
he couldn't come. But yeah, he's pretty much been the one. But somebody else came and did it,
Okay.
so that was really nice. So then, the girls, they took care of parking, which
Yeah,
that was a big job.
that was something. I will say that.
Yeah.
A little hectic.
It's
but
dark.
We
It
got
starts it's so dark when
Yeah,
it starts.
no, it was.
Yeah.
It was rough when it was dark, but once it lightened up a little bit,
Yeah.
we were able to get people.
You don't realize it's so
Yeah.
dark out there. Well, and then there were people driving up the bike path.
Yeah, we have to. We learned that maybe
we learned
need
we have
some
to
more
cone the road
signs.
and the bike path.
Yeah.
You just need like Michelle has a new saying of the many that I have got in my brain, and it is cones are power.
I've been saying
they
cones
are.
are power for years. They are.
And don't drive on the bike path.
Well, yeah, but cones are power. Put one cone out, no one drives on the bike
Yeah.
path. It was hard to see. It's dark. It's so dark
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's country. You're out in the country.
yeah, and it was it a little cloudy?
I don't remember.
I think there was an overcast.
Maybe
because
because I don't remember stars that night.
Yeah, so let's see. So the race started. I mean, oh yeah, Peg Wills. She did the bike start.
Okay.
I wonder what it looked like. I would like to talk to Peg because
That'd be fun. We got to give her a GoPro or something next year. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would have been Taggart and Rachel. Like all those people were right,
Right
by
up
each
the
other,
front,
and then
yeah.
and then the rest of the people
Right. Yeah.
were a
Like,
ways back
yeah.
there.
I did post a video from the start of everybody going by.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it went by forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had like 600 runners this year, but some of those are doing the 50K, and the 50K was like 140. So the rest of
50
them.
mile.
No, the 50K was like 140.
Oh, so you're saying, yeah, right. So
the
they weren't
start.
at the start. Okay,
yeah.
right.
So they have a different start line. So the
Correct.
50K starts at aid station 7:15.
Okay. At 5 o'clock.
At 5:00 at night. So that's kind of cool. You get to run at night. And then let's see what else.
Well, so why don't we say, so once the race started, for us, we all kind of scattered.
Well, we had to pack all that. Starting
Right.
off, but that didn't take too long.
Right. So I would like to give a shout out to Paige. I don't know her last name. Taylor? Is that it?
Frenera Page. Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah. So she showed up after we were just finished setting up the finish line on Thursday and then stayed till, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday morning at 3:00 and just volunteered for like 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And just did whatever we asked her to do with a smile on her face and was just really happy with it. So she was there. She helped with parking. She was our star volunteer this year.
Yeah.
She helped with I mean, she was just, man, she just did so great. And she was super friendly. It was really great.
Got water for the starting line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. She was just
because we had accidentally unpacked the water for the start line when we packed up the we had to bring the Ornery Mule tent and the speakers, and we pulled the water out and then put that in and then put the water back in.
Yeah. For mistakes, that was a small one.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, we had a couple little tiny things, but nothing. It's like, oh, good. If that's like we forgot one of our flags for the start thing, or no, actually the stake. So usually we have two Ornery Mule banners to start, and we just had one. It's like, well, that's
because it fell out of the bag.
So then we just use your Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Oh, is that what you hooked it onto?
No. Oh. But her Jeep was parked there.
Okay.
So it just kind of like squared
Looked
it
like
off.
it. Okay, gotcha. So she did really great, and then we all scattered. Michelle hit, I don't know, you hit as many aid stations as you could.
Yeah, I
to the
first go
50
to
mile
the
finish.
Hennepin Canal State Park Foundation
Okay.
aid station. That was the first one. And I got there, and it wasn't too long before Phil came. Phil's
flying. Yeah.
He was like quite a ways
So
ahead.
he was the first person for
Yeah.
anything. Okay.
And he looked really good. Phil's a lot of fun to watch race. He can be very, I don't know if he would like to, he knows this. He can be very dramatic.
I heard his talk the night before was really awesome.
Oh, yeah. We should. Yeah, he was really great at the pre-race meeting. In fact, all weekend I kept the stories that he told.
Yes, I
people
kept bringing them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll have to hopefully he'll want to do that again next year because
yeah.
he was very inspiring to everyone. And so, so he was way ahead of everybody. And then I believe it was Taggart that came next. There might have been a 50-miler that came through. I'm not really sure. But Taggart and then his girlfriend came in, and he every single time I saw him, and I knew what his goal was. He'd go, Michelle, it's going to happen today. I feel really good. He would say that every single time. And then I thought it was really cute because his fiance was there, and he would come in and he'd go, "Hey, lover."
Oh, wow.
And we're like, "Get a room." So, but yeah, they were an adorable couple, and he looked. I mean, I stopped seeing. Let's see. I did go to the Pineapple Oasis station. I can't remember if I saw him there or not. But I didn't see him after that.
Yeah.
All the way to that station, he looked good.
Yeah.
Like he would say, "Michelle, it's happening.
Yeah.
I feel really good."
Yeah.
I mean, all the top people look good. Rachel Rigona, oh my, she was running right up there with all the guys.
I actually never saw her. I saw Taggart quite a few times.
Yeah.
I saw her at aid station 4 when we went there.
Okay.
In the morning.
Okay.
Oh yeah, cause she went through 4. We ran into. Yeah, we were at the same.
Yeah.
Were we at the same aid station very much this year?
A lot, actually.
Yeah.
We ran into it because we ran in 10 Junk Miles. I don't know which one it was. We ran into you there too.
Do we want to talk about those drop bags?
Should we want to talk about the drop bags?
Oh yeah, the drop. Yeah, that was one other little mistake that got made.
Oh, we fixed it.
But we fixed it.
We fixed it before
everything
anyone
got
noticed.
fixed, yeah.
It was so Sid and I were hitting. We were just popping down after the start to some aid stations, and we got to 4, and there's nothing there. There's no tent. There's no people. There's not a car. It's a no crew aid station, so I wasn't expecting cars. But there's 2 giant tarps with just a ton of drop bags, and I'm like, this can't be right. Well, since last year, aid station 4 has moved a little bit closer to the start line, and
I kind of made it
haven't been quite.
I made it a little secret on the website because
Yeah.
I was like, because that got taken away. That the ability for us to have it where it was, where there's an actual bathroom, got taken away from us because people parked bad on the road.
Oh.
So DNR told us we couldn't have it there anymore.
And that's why you don't go to a no crew.
Yeah, don't go to no crew aid station because we lose our spot.
so there's a new person in charge of DNR.
Okay.
And we've been good for quite a few years. So I asked again if we could move back to that other location.
Oh, I
Because there's more
see.
parking. There's a
Gotcha.
bridge that goes under
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
And there's an actual bathroom, which
Yep.
makes it nice. Because otherwise, when you went to that station, you kind of had to walk up a hill to go
Yeah.
to use the porta potty.
Uh-huh.
And they said, yeah, we could go. So I did not want. I had it on the website, but it was in a. I knew how to tell people where to find it if
Yeah.
they needed to go there.
So to make a long story short, our drop eggs ended up at the old aid station, which we noticed before the race. So Sid put, I don't know, 100 drop eggs in his van.
Yeah.
It was also, we did drag them up a hill as fast
Yeah.
as we
Oh, yeah,
possibly
that
could.
hill,
I
that's
mean,
where
it was some work, and then drove them back. We found the aid station, and then they all helped us unload it. But
Yeah.
we were racing because they were running so fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I just wanted
Just
to make
had to
sure that we
say.
got there before the first runner
Yeah.
wanted their drop bag.
I mean, it was not very far. It was
Yeah.
like the next block. Oh,
No, but it was the fact that the runners were running so fast.
Yeah.
That I just wanted to make sure
It
that
was
they got it.
probably 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
By
they
the time we
started
got
coming
all
through.
the drop eggs on the ground, we started seeing runners. come
Yeah.
through.
Right.
And of course, those guys don't need drop eggs. so
Right, they
were
all
just
ran
flying
through it anyway.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
were able to get it a little bit more organized
Yeah.
and stuff. But that was at the Fleet Feet aid station.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had some cool cutouts where you could do selfies.
Oh, it looked great. And that's where I
Yeah.
saw Matt. Matt came through, Coach Matt came
yeah.
through looking really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing him.
Yeah, everybody was so happy and looked so good all day. That weather.
Because the weather was
Yeah.
amazing. It was gorgeous.
So then from there, let's see. I had to. I always skip the 5 aid station. I always go to 4.
We hit Natalie after that, right? Yeah, so we saw Natalie and her kids.
Yeah.
And they were all set up and people were coming through already. Jenny was there taking pictures when we came through.
Yeah, we'll have to. Jenny's pictures there, so she has all her kids there, and they
Yeah.
you go under a little tunnel.
Natalie has all her kids there.
Yeah, Natalie has all of her kids, and the runners go under a tunnel, and Jenny had Natalie's kids lay over top of the tunnel, and they were high fiving the
Yeah, I
runners.
And
saw
those pictures
Yeah,
are
so good.
awesome.
The
They
runners
look
are so happy. Well,
good.
her kids are adorable.
Yeah.
For one thing,
Yeah.
so you would smile when you see them.
Yeah, we saw Brian at 4, and then we got to Natalie's, and we saw him
Yeah,
again.
Brian, we pretty much hit Brian every single time, every aid station we went to until we
Yeah.
stopped going to aid stations.
Yeah, Brian, he's new with Ornery Mule Racing. He did his first race at Kettle, and he's very talented runner that's learning. I
Right.
mean, his first race literally
He came in
was
second
Kettle.
at Kettle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he came in second.
And he hadn't
Behind
even done a
Reese.
marathon. Yeah.
So,
We were.
Yeah.
He's somebody to watch.
yep.
Tea and drama.
What's that?
All right, so Faith and Jaden, who did the DNF bus, met Brian up at Midwest States. Because Brian and his mom, Diane, who is amazing,
Yeah.
did the timing at Midwest States, and they did such a great job. And then we've got Kyle, who's also an up-and-comer in Ornery Mule.
Yeah.
So we've got this, new, young vibe coming in,
I know.
which is super fun for Ornery Mule. So they've got their little gang. You'll see them. They're going to be out there. Get ready. I don't know.
Yeah. They're out driving my Jeep
Yep.
around.
Literally.
Yep.
And then people are like, I saw you go flying by.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were out. The group of them went out twice doing the
Yeah.
DNF bus
Yeah.
at Hennepin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were together.
Multiple times, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, the DNF bus, that was a new ad, which we need one for all of our
I think so.
hundreds. It was
Yes.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a Suburban, and then you guys owned that and
Oh,
made it
yeah.
even cooler. So when did you talk about what you did with that?
Well, basically, we got there. Michelle graciously gave us her car. And, I mean, obviously, we drew on it. We had to make it our own. And then, basically, we just went around and we picked up people. And here's my thing. Every single person we picked up, they dropped. But the vibes and, their energy still was so amazing. Even though they were upset that they dropped, they were still the most the nicest, the most energetic, like, they were just so amazing. Every single person we picked up. And they came with us to Walmart. They came with us to other aid stations. We bought coffee pots. We bought cheese. We bought anything we needed. Every time Michelle sent us on a mission, there was normally someone else with us.
Yeah, because you guys were the special apps team.
Yeah.
You
Right.
actually had
Yeah, anything that needed to be gotten, Faith and Jaden got it.
Yeah, and everyone was they were so okay with going with us. We were like, oh, we're sorry you have to come with us. And they were like, oh, we don't care. Like, we're in a car with you. Like, we're warm, we're safe, we're good. So, but yeah, everyone was so amazing.
Well, and then you were saying Brian would like start asking him like, oh, where you from?
yeah.
What you doing? How are you? Who are you?
Oh, yeah, it was great. Like, Jaden and I would, like, kind of start the conversation, and then we would have Brian in the back, and because he's a runner, he would just have a full-blown conversation with everyone, and Jaden and I would just be driving the little car and, like, doing what we need to do, and he would be able to have a conversation with them, and it was great, honestly.
They did have a death count though
Yeah.
on
Oh,
it
yeah.
where they marked every single dropped runner they picked up. So
Yeah.
I mean, and they did make Brian put his own tally.
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
because he was a drop
we had
runner.
to.
And they made him do it. I love it.
At that point, you gotta do it yourself. I think we actually made one other person do it, but
And they didn't sleep till like 4:30 in the morning. Like they were out doing all that.
Yeah, they had like a
Forever.
bus schedule, like
Yeah.
every 4
Yeah.
hours.
But
go.
everything took a long. It's an
Yeah.
ultra. Everything takes longer than you're expecting, and it just happens. But I feel like I was expecting people to be more, I don't know, upset and negative getting into it. From what she said, people were real positive.
Yeah.
They were real happy for the warm
Did anybody
drive.
have their picture taken by it?
Oh, well, at the end, a lot of runners were taking pictures of the van, yes.
Uh-huh.
But, like, in the moment, no.
But it was
were-
parked far away. As soon as we
Yeah.
moved it closer to the finish line, lots of people got their picture
Yeah.
by it.
And it was dark out.
Yeah.
Really,
Right.
when people started dropping.
We were very happy that people weren't upset with what we wrote on the bus because we kept going back and forth. We were like, is this too negative? And then when everyone was, like, embracing it, we were like, okay, we did good. So
Yeah, so you did a really nice drawing. Who did the drawing?
Jaden.
of the
That was
runner?
Jaden.
Jaden's
yeah.
artistic.
Yeah.
Faith's my daughter.
I thought of,
draw.
I thought of, like, what we would put on the bus, and then she actually did it.
Okay, it
That
looks good.
Yeah. No, it was great. Everyone was very happy about it, and
Yeah, so if you come and do Hennepin 100 and you don't make it, you can write in the
You
DNF.
can hang out with
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
promise,
have been.
great.
Sid would have
super
loved
happy.
that.
Yeah.
2019.
He waited 4 hours for a
I waited
drive.
4 hours for a ride back. Yeah.
Yeah, you were at that cold aid.
The farthest 11.
Yeah, the farthest
Aid station
Yeah.
11. Yeah.
But that was the second aid station we moved. So you were at the
Oh, you
worst
moved that
spot.
one.
Yeah, so we moved that one too because it's always scary when you move an aid station because one person doesn't get the message, like the
Right.
drop bag
right.
people that we
Right.
moved it.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They just didn't read it. And
okay, I'm
Bye,
sorry.
Faith.
I have
Faith's
to go.
leaving.
okay.
Bye,
If you
Faith.
have any other questions for me, I can answer them now, but I gotta go.
No, that's
No.
good. Thank you, Faith.
Okay, of course.
But yeah, so we moved. I don't know why we didn't do this before. We moved the 100-mile turnaround station. There's like a park. So you've done the race before. You know that little park that you actually had
Yeah.
to run by.
Yeah.
Now the aid station's there. There's a
Oh, okay,
bathroom
yeah.
there. There.
Oh, that
I
makes
mean, it's
sense.
like a bunch of
Yeah.
parking.
Instead of being right by that tunnel.
Yeah, it's still no crew, so don't start showing up there.
So don't go
'cause
there. We don't
want
to
it
yell
taken
at you.
away from us.
Yeah.
And but now you just get to that aid station, then you only have to go like 500 feet to the turnaround,
Oh,
and
that's
then
what
turn
they
around.
were saying. It was closer to the turnaround this year, and I was like, it wasn't that close.
Yeah,
Now it is.
but now it is because we moved it down
Okay.
a little bit. But like where you guys were at, you said it was really cold when you had to wait for 4 hours for.
Well, it was
in the
cold
middle of
that
the
year,
night.
and it
Yeah.
was raining.
Yeah,
So yeah, it
well.
was just.
Here is a little more. There's trees all around it. It probably wouldn't be as bad.
So then we went down to after we hit our few aid stations, and Paige was actually delivering the volunteer gifts to the earlier aid stations. We hit the finish line to finish putting all the stuff up that was going to get knocked over in the wind, and to get the like the awards tents and stuff done. And we
Yeah.
had a ton of volunteers. It was we had we had amazing volunteers. We always have amazing volunteers, but we had enough amazing volunteers this year. Nothing was like, I was never feeling like I needed another person. It was really great. You were at the 50-mile finish while we were doing that. So how was that?
Well, let's see. I was at the 50-mile finish. That was Lauren from Rituals Chiropractic and Jen from the Runners of the Corn podcast. They take care of the 50-mile finish lines. So I got to see Phil, come through and win. Okay. And but
that wasn't a record this year.
It wasn't a record. Right after he came through, my phone did blow up a little bit. Okay. And I had to kind of walk away and I don't remember what I was taking care of, but there was stuff that I was taking care of over there. It was nice at that, I like to go there because I have to make sure the porta potties got dropped off at the right spot, because a lot of times they drop off the porta potties at the far end of the parking lot, and then we have to find a way to drag them over closer. Because we didn't used to, when we were newbie race directors, I didn't know we could actually move a porta potty. And there was one year that it was real far away, and we just left it there because we didn't know you could put it into a back of a truck and then drive it. And but they dropped them off at the right spot. Even I put porta potty signs up where to put them, but that doesn't mean they always put them next to it.
You know that from Kettle.
Yeah, Kettle. This year they really did some crazy stuff there.
Interesting. Yep.
And so I just check on all that stuff, and I usually get to see the winner go through, but then I go down to aid station 11. And I like to try to see as many volunteers to thank them for being there. And so that was Katrina with the Run Junkies, and they're from the Aurora area. Yep. They were making tacos. Yorkville. They had tacos when you were there.
It's like a fiesta.
Yeah.
I know. So next year I have to hit that aid station. It's like the one aid station that I think I've never gotten to. I think it's the only one I've never gotten to.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
I got some good videos. And at that station, I was really happy to see. So Juan Moran, while I was out there, I got to see Juan Moran come in, and Juan coached with us for a while. Okay. He helped us start our whole coaching, the whole setup of that. And he had some, I think he broke his leg or something, and he hasn't run for 3 years. So this was his first race back.
Oh, great.
And I was honored that he chose our race to do. And so I was videoing him there. And I think that I got some video that Caleb might use for that. He said something kind of funny. So and so I sent that off to Caleb today.
I think he requested my start line footage. So I think I maybe got a check mark for something for Caleb. Yeah, which is difficult.
But so I saw him, I saw Rachel, I saw the second place gal, and all those people, it didn't change. They stayed strong. From the start, they all kind of went out at a pace, and then there wasn't changing.
Yeah. Okay.
And but that was super exciting. So then let's see, from there, what the heck did I do?
Did you go to the 50K start? You must have.
Yeah. I probably went. Let's see. I had to. Well, no, I think I stopped at the Trail Sisters actually before the 50 mile, and then I went to see 10 Junk Miles.
Oh right, yeah, that was before the 50 mile.
And then Scott was wearing the same outfit as me.
Oh yeah, I might send Royal the picture because Scott was really flattered that you decided to dress like him. He was like, "Wow, Michelle, I'm so flattered." He was real happy.
They were basically having this whole conversation about who was doing it first.
It was me.
Yeah. when I was 7 years old, I wore this.
Yeah. But bottom line, he was really flattered, right? Yes.
Yeah. So Nikki got a picture of us, but that was pretty.
We were there together, and we got to see Brian come in and work with his crew to get him back out there.
Yeah, we gave him some of that CBD cream,
which he would rave about. Yeah. He loved it.
that stuff's good.
Yeah.
In fact, I reached out to the company to
Yeah.
order it because
Yeah.
he says that he put it on where it hurt and he could feel the spot that he didn't get the
Right.
stuff on there.
Where
There
it
was like
ended.
a line on his leg where he stopped putting it, and below that he could feel
Well,
it.
and he was
Yeah.
a typical new runner. Like, he didn't want to do it. He was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then, like, his crew was like, just try it. I mean, I would say not even new runner. Runners get dumb, and they
Yeah.
don't want to
Like,
you
I don't
tell
wanna
them-
eat.
You
I'm
tell
not
them, like,
eating.
maybe you're chafing. Maybe you should put some lube on that. And they
Is that
argue
from
with
personal
you
experience?
a little bit. 6 miles later, they try it and they're like, oh, that was a good idea. So it's interesting. Runner brain I feel like someone needs to write like
Yeah.
a essay on it because it's stupid.
It is.
Honestly, people get real dumb. And I don't mean everyone but me. Everyone does.
Well, eating is huge.
Oh,
like,
the eating thing.
I
This
mean,
year I
you're
feel
like
everyone
tired
was
and
okay.
cranky.
Well,
And,
and the minute it's warm out,
yeah.
it's like your stomach goes like, nah, I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna run 80 miles without eating.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you can make your brain
not
think it
fun.
well. No. Yeah. So then, we did 10 junk miles, which was fun. That was the first year I ever got out there.
Oh, okay.
I had the pulled pork. You had the pulled pork.
That's the first year I ate the pork there.
Oh, because you weren't throwing up in the toilet?
Right.
Yeah. It was delicious, right?
It was.
That was good. And it was fun getting a picture in front of the disco ball. I mean, we were there pretty early, so like I feel like the party hadn't really started yet, but
Yeah, I mean, because Brian's coming through. With
right,
all
it
the
was
top people.
pre-noon, so they're a long aid station. So then after that, I think we went directly back to the finish line, and that's when you went out to the 50-mile finish
The 50
ish, or maybe
the 50K to get ready for the 50K
okay,
start.
yeah,
And then we had some volunteers coming for that because you could pick up your bib
at the start line.
at the start line, and then
Yes.
you grab your swag at the finish line.
Yeah, off the bus.
So the bus.
Should we talk about the bus?
Yeah, we had a little pickle with the bus. We had a whole bunch of little tiny
Yeah.
things happen, but it wasn't.
We were like,
Yeah,
just moving with the punches.
Yeah.
We just did it.
I'm sitting there waiting, and so I had Julie A. Stars and Julie Bain help get people on the bus. So I knew that
Yes.
they were on
and
the
they
bus.
were great. Yep.
And so I'm like looking at my watch going, I'm surprised the bus isn't here yet. Like, so
And
then
the bus left on time.
so I messaged Julie. I go, did the bus leave on time? And she goes, yeah, it left
Yeah.
on time. We should almost be there. And I'm like, okay. Well, then like 15 more minutes go by. I'm like, I call her, Julie, where are you guys? She goes, the bus driver took us to the wrong place.
Yeah. Megan Veldkamp was like, the minute we started slowing down, I looked out like, nope, this ain't it.
Yeah.
So like she knew. Yeah.
So we've been using the same bus company forever. Their office manager just changed.
Okay.
So the person that I book with changed. And so I'm guessing what happened, and I haven't said anything to him yet, is, they probably write out the map and they probably said, oh, they're just going to the Hennepin Canal State Park. Because if you type that in on Google, then that's where they took them.
Okay.
And not to the GPS coordinates.
Was it 10 junk miles?
It is.
Yeah, that's
but,
what-
well, it's the same.
It's close. It's
yeah,
the
right
park
by
that
there.
they're next to.
But that's
Okay.
where Google will take you.
Okay.
And so that's what I think that
Yeah.
they probably made.
I mean,
the
it wasn't
mistake.
too terribly far.
I mean, it's like the next aid station down.
right.
And so then I called Julie, and I'm like, I said, okay, I just sent you the link. Can you walk up and show the bus driver how to follow the link?
Yeah.
And so she just went up there and
Okay.
then just showed him.
So we just had a
which
wave
way to
start
go.
for our 50K.
Yeah, so then there were some people that got dropped off, and and it's kind of cold and it's going to be dark, and
Yep.
these people came here ready to start a race at 5:00.
Right.
And so I had to make the decision. Well, we had to call timing, the head timer, because there was another timer there to make sure that they could set up for a wave start, because you don't just change how you do
Right.
stuff mid-race. And he was able to change it to a wave start.
Okay.
And so I started all them right on time at 5:00. And then when the buses came, I ran out there and said, don't worry, you guys go to the bathroom, take your picture by the sign, whatever you
Right.
need to do. As soon as everybody gets settled in, we'll start. And we started at 5:20.
Okay.
So it
Oh,
wasn't
that's not bad. Yeah.
too bad.
The timers were great too.
Oh my gosh, they're
yeah, it was.
fantastic.
I don't know his last name.
Yeah.
But they were just.
Well,
they
they're
did a good job.
runners.
Yeah.
And I think, because sometimes, the timers aren't always runners.
Right.
And they've run our race.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
Rich,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
Rich is a really good runner.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing Javelina with
Yeah.
us this year.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I'm super happy with them. I actually hired them after I did Tunnel Hill last year, and I did the marathon. And then I got done with the race. We clapped everybody in. We get into the car. I get an email, and it says, your time for the race was this.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that was fast. And so I sent him an email and said, do you want to do our races?
Yeah.
Because that was nice. And so, yeah, he's coming back next year,
Good.
too.
Good.
Yeah, they worked really hard. There was an issue with the 50K bibs and the timing, mostly because the box of bins was right by the starting line.
Oh.
All those bibs kept pinging the
I
start.
didn't know
So he
this.
had to go through and get rid of all that data
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
before
yeah.
he could finish everybody. So
But
he was
see, we
working
didn't
very
even
hard.
know this because they just took care of it.
Well, I did know that it kind of dawned on me what happened. So Renee, she goes, I just got notified that I went through aid station 4 and I'm not in the race. So I pulled out. And I'm like, I go, well, I need to let the timer know. And then I drove off to do something, and I'm driving, and I'm like, oh, her bib had to have got by
Too close,
there.
yeah.
So then I messaged, she goes, oh yeah, I talked to the timer, and they already figured out
Okay,
that it was the
good.
bibs. That's something we definitely have to work on, is because we did have some people dropping, and we had one guy that dropped, and then he came to the finish line to clap for everybody with his bib on, and then it showed
You
him
gotta
in
take your
9th
bib off.
place. Because
He drove.
so we had
Well,
to
someone on
fix that.
Strava was going to totally notice that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, but
So you got the
there's
50K
just
stuff.
you just stuff like that happens through
Right,
the whole race,
right.
and then you just hope nothing's. I mean,
And as a runner, you don't even know any of this happened. You just run your race and you
Right.
finish, and everything's great.
Yep.
the scariest thing for me is buses. So race morning especially.
Yeah.
When as soon as I can see Lauren messaged me, so from the 50-mile finish line, she goes, all the buses just left the 50-mile finish line. I'm like, yes. And then nobody messaged me from the 100. I didn't ask them to, but nobody was calling me saying there was no bus there.
Right,
So I was pretty
right.
sure that everything was
Everything
fine
went
there.
smoothly in Kelowna that morning. So
Yeah.
that worked out.
Yeah, so Thomas and his wife, they run the Kankakee Zoo Crew aid station.
Okay.
And they came, which is kind of a ways, I don't know, it's probably at least 30 miles, I was going to say a 50K away from the finish line. And so they went to the finish line to park everybody for the bus,
Okay.
and then went back and ran their aid station, and then came to the finish line too to help all the way. So a lot of people just came and stayed the whole
Yeah, they
weekend
did.
and just kept
They did.
working.
Yep.
So,
So then you got the 50K. Well, so you got the 50K going, and then you came to the finish line, which was, well, what? Taggart, when did he come through? At 8?
I was getting a little worried when I had to do the wave
late start, yeah.
because we started doing math,
Right.
going, okay,
Can I get there?
I had to go
Yeah.
on ornerymuleracing.com and use our pace calculator.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, this is what he's doing. Am I
Right.
going to make it? And so I literally got to the finish line only 40 minutes before
Yep.
Taggart got there. So and he's probably capable of even going. I mean, I think he ran a perfect race.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely people capable of going faster than that. If we ever had a delay again, I need a backup plan
Right.
of who's going to start the
Right, the
second
50K,
race.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because although you guys would have been there to welcome him, it's not
Right.
like he would have came
Well,
in.
and honestly, this year we had it was set up. The finish line, I would say for me, setting up a finish line with the way I want it to look, and I'm
Yeah.
very particular with how I want things to look.
Yeah.
It was set up an hour and a half, 2 hours before he came through exactly the way I wanted it because I started so early. I was very happy. So you kind of got to get there, get settled, and then just deal with runners and like giving out awards and stuff.
Well, last year you had to get ready really fast because I had the keys.
Yeah. And actually, do you know what? I was talking to someone. You had the key until 10 junk miles. You had it. Like, we forgot about it until we ran into you at 10 junk miles.
My gosh.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I need to get into the trailer. It was it was like a Christmas miracle.
Yeah,
I don't know. So next year it's in my notes. I need the trailer key.
Yeah.
The night before. But yeah, so it was great.
Well, you can call John Swan and all the firemen, and they can get their
cut it out,
cutters out.
I do have a little side story. I'm going to really quick jump into. When we were doing cleanup, I was walking back and forth. You walk back and forth in front of the pavilion that's wrapped, and John Swan was sitting there with another one of the, I don't know, search and rescue firemen or whatever. And, he knew your daughter was there, Tasha.
Yeah.
So he stopped me and he's like, so you're Michelle's daughter, right? It's like 2 times now.
So you're like married to people?
I know. So I'm like, I'm not, but thank you very much. Yeah, it was fun.
That's so cool.
Tasha was fun.
Yeah.
So for me, I think my favorite part of this entire weekend was because, Michelle's daughter, Tasha, moved, almost 2 years ago now, away from her. And it took her a long time. She got her cats then. Now I feel like that helps you a little bit. But the way you did, it was so sweet. She just came to the finish line just to hang out with you, right?
Well, I was cold.
And
so I messaged her to bring me another pair of pants to put on.
But she was there for a couple of hours.
Yeah, so she
easily
just
3.
Well, she could have been sleeping. All of her friends were. So Tasha does a lot of the deliveries and the cleanups, and so she came. She flew into town, and all of her friends are like, "Oh, good, you're going to be in town. Can we hang out with you?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm working. If you want to work with me." So 5 of her friends, they all just came and worked with her.
That's awesome.
And so they were all sleeping
at Ed's house. Ed was really proud that he had all the 20-somethings at his house.
Yeah. Well, we had a cabin too.
Okay.
And so then I texted her. I'm like, hey, if you wake up, can you bring me some pants? Because I was gonna stop and pick some up because I had some extra pants at Ed's. And I had like fleece pants and I didn't have them on. I was just like wearing regular pants. And so she went and got those, maybe another jacket. I can't remember. And then she just came and hung out. And she had a lot of fun. She was videotaping. Yeah. And she got to see people. She made the awards. She got to see people get the awards. Cool. And yeah, she had a lot of fun. I think they'll end up moving back here, but right now they're exploring other places.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah.
But you loving on her was super fun to watch.
Yeah.
I thought it was real sweet.
Tasha and I get along well. Me and Lil Ro do too.
I don't think he's there.
Yeah, I think he is. So Little Ro, Big Ro, 6 foot. How tall are you? 6'3". 6'3" Ro was with Big Ro, my husband, and they set up all the aid stations and they worked really hard. And then Tasha delivered probably water and like one truck's just fruit.
Wow. It's the first race, Royal. It's the first race I haven't seen you or your dad ever.
Right.
It was the weirdest. It was like surreal. You didn't see him either, did you?
No, I didn't.
That was so weird.
Although we were driving around at one point and I said, I really don't want to see the Royals drive by.
Well, because that would have meant you were real far behind. Right. So, yeah. And you weren't. Like, we didn't see you. So, but it was weird.
Yeah, it was. But
we took out a few volunteer gifts later on then. After the front people came in, we went back out.
Yep. We hit Pineapple Aid Station, Christine and Patrick.
Yep. Man, their station's so cool. The way they decorate like a diner.
Yes, and they have great food. And they're very experienced runners, so they know how to help people. And
we saw Lily and we did a fireball shot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lily was trying to keep warm. It got pretty cold in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So you got to do fireball to stay warm.
Right.
And then who was it the LCM run group that was the next one after Pineapple? I can't remember. They were great. It was a no crew aid station.
Yeah.
And I've never gone out there, and they were just like it was a party. It was about 9:30 at night. Every tunnel that we hit from at night 16 on was decorated somehow. They do such a great job. There was like a laser light show in one of them. They had all these Christmas lights through another one that had awesome graffiti in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so great. But that LCM Run Club, which, I mean, it was like 7 people there helping runners since there's no crew, there's not like spectators or anything like that. There were 2 girls. Every single time they saw someone coming through a tunnel, they would scream "party tunnel" and dance. Yeah. Every single time. It was so fun. I had such a good time there.
And there was Fireball there too.
And there was a lot of alcohol on the trail. I will tell you that. The sheriffs were one of
Henry
the next
County
people.
Sheriff's.
Yeah. And I love them because I walked in and the real big guy, Matt's
and
like,
did you get to meet his daughter? She's
No,
adorable.
I did not.
She helps during the day, and then she goes.
But one of those ones was when that one lady who was doing the 50 came through with her like 3-year-old in the like Burley stroller.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow, this is going to be a long race for her. She finished.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I have no one to watch her, so I'm just going to do it. I mean, wow, she was a badass.
Yeah.
It was awesome to watch her do that.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah, and her daughter, by the time she came to the finish line, just completely crashed.
Yeah.
Sound asleep. But she was walking into the aid station in the middle of the night. So then we did the sheriffs, and they were super fun.
We went to 19. We did 16, 17.
We did all of them.
Yeah, so 19's new. That's Cuss running.
Oh, they did
They're out
great.
of Chicago.
So they had a little problem with their propane heater,
Right.
which we got working. That was where Faith had to go to the Walmart to get the coffee pot.
Okay.
So we let them know it was coming.
Uh-huh.
And then they were doing a really great job. They had some like inflatables, like karate people. Yeah, you must.
Yeah,
have
they
that
decorated
picture.
it really cute.
They
They
did a
sent
really
me
good
a
job.
video. I
Yeah,
gotta send
that's
it
kind
to
of a
Caleb.
large aid station. That has that's got a good porta potty.
Like a real bathroom.
Yeah,
They had a real bathroom.
Yeah, they have a real bathroom and like a big
They had the
fire
fire
out
pit
there.
going, yeah.
Yeah, so that one's good. And then there's that 20 is a
20
kind of
is
small
where
one.
we got to 20 and the cops were still there with their lights on.
Because
from
apparently
that rollover accident.
it was an accident.
yeah.
It was just a rollover.
Yeah.
I mean, they accidentally rolled over,
Yeah, somebody was driving too fast.
but they didn't hit anybody.
And then there was a rumor that it was a Jeep. And so everybody was afraid it was my Jeep. It was like, Michelle's in a hurry to get somebody.
No, it was fine. By the time we got there, it was all totally fine. And then we got back, and then I took my 5-hour nap.
Yeah, and having the mud running club at the finish line.
I mean, it's
So they're out of Crystal Lake
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And run at Veterans Acres.
Yeah, the
and they've got it nailed down because Hennepin is also our busiest finish line because you don't just come in and get a medal or an age group award, but you also get a flannel, and if you are new to that distance, you get a cherry pop shirt. So there's a lot going on at that finish line.
It's a lot of work to
Yeah.
find the right size, get it to them.
Most of the time, everyone's like, "Hey, I finished. Give me a medal, and I'm done." And no, they're like on it, like first race. How old are you? All those things happen.
Jeff Lennart has a lot of fun.
Yeah. He
We-
really likes
yeah.
giving out those virgin shirts.
And, I mean, Jeff Goodmanson was
Yeah.
great at it too.
Yeah.
But Lennart kind of took charge of that.
Yeah, I heard him. Well, and they had their, and then Jeff and Jean had their puppy. Who's super
Oh my
cute.
gosh, Paxton.
I want it.
And there's Paxton's. It makes me think of Hennepin, the name Paxton, because there's Paxton's Corner Coop.
Oh yeah.
And
I forgot I
I'm
meant to go there.
Yeah, it's really cute. You should just go there and get your picture taken because they have like a little astronaut where you can.
It's like a
stick your head
bakery,
in.
and they have awesome things. And I'm sad I forgot about it because
Yeah, they're
looked
super busy. It's
Yeah.
really nice. They make
Well,
homemade ice
There
cream.
was lots of good bakery at the race. So.
Oh yeah, at the finish line.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
like vegan
Yeah.
and
Homemade stuff that they individually
They had a
wrapped.
pumpkin cheesecake brownie. I mean, it individually wrapped.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane.
That was the, what do you call
the
it?
fire auxiliary.
Auxiliary. They were super great.
they
Yeah.
were
And
really-
it was really warm in that tent. Everyone liked that tent. It
I know
was
I did
very
not
warm.
like walking in there because it was hard to come out because I was really
right.
struggling with the
With
cold.
how cold it was. It got
Yeah.
chilly. Yeah. I mean, it was 42, I think. That was the low. So it got cold. that
Yeah,
night.
it was.
And when
rough.
you're standing around for 6 hours at 42, it's very cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
But great running weather.
Yep.
All that matters.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody looked so happy at the finish line, and it was easy to find the Henry County Search and Rescue, they swept to help us know, who we had
still out there.
Plus we got the timing mats out there.
Right.
And so the Jeffs, they ran out there right before, I'm like, we should probably run, I kind of wanted to run out there, but I was afraid somebody'd be like, I'd have to race them to the finish line, which I'd want to do anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, you were thinking about racing people the last.
It would be fun.
From the tunnel.
Because it's a long time to be standing there.
I got to tell you, Michelle, after this year, I might allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it went really well.
It did, and I think you could do it.
Yeah, just where you could sign up to race me.
Yeah.
Like you come through the tunnel,
Yeah.
and then if
Outside
I know
the
you're
tunnel.
coming, then it's like you have to beat me to the finish line.
Yeah.
I think Nikki was saying you could actually run the race next year.
No, I was saying from the tunnel. From the tunnel.
That's a goal. Well, that's where we'll start.
We'll start with the
we'll start.
tunnel.
We'll
Well,
just
I
keep
was
bumping you back a little further.
yeah. I was saying, well, I probably would
50K.
want to do the 50 mile first, and I was like, if I actually
I might allow
do.
that too. I can see that.
But I was thinking, if I do the 50 mile, I really want to finish in Kelowna. So it's like we must, because they've done so much for
Right.
the race.
I know,
So we
they're
might
so
have
great.
to have, like, if we get to a point where I can actually run the race, then we might have to have a special finish in Kelowna year.
Okay.
I mean,
a 50-mile finish. in
50 mile
Kelowna.
finish.
Yeah.
My other favorite part of the whole trail is the 50 mile finish line. So
Okay.
I do think that's I love that area.
Okay.
Like if I go to camp, that's where I go. Or if I go to run, I go there and do out and backs. But it would be nice to finish at the fire department. Oh, should we tell everybody what we decided for our finisher medals for next year for the 50K?
Yeah.
So for the 50K, just for the 50K,
Okay.
the 50 mile have to be different. We're going to do a fire truck, a Kelowna fire truck.
Which this year they had the flag hanging from a giant ladder truck, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that at the finish line. It
I
was so
hope that
cool.
they get good pictures because that big truck there was,
It was so
cool.
Yeah.
Usually the flag is just in the tree, but this year they had the truck there. It was so cool.
It
But
was,
just in the tree, it's still awesome. It's
It
a
was-
giant
yeah.
flag, but the truck was fun.
it's a very, did you see where Stormy had posted a picture of when he ran the
No, I
Hennepin
didn't see it.
years ago? Our finish line's gotten much fancier.
Much bigger. Yeah, I was impressed this
It was
year.
like a blow up black thing that had like a little sign that said Hennepin 100.
I remember one at night coming across the bridge late, and I'm like, oh, I mean, it's like it's lit up, and it's impressive.
And a lot of
It's a
people.
finish line,
Like
yeah.
all night long. There was
Yeah,
like a party there.
yeah, it was good. This year was great.
And every aid station was like that.
Every aid station I went to was just phenomenal. And honestly, every runner said how great the aid stations were.
Yeah, everybody was coming to the finish line talking about what a great race it was and how much they liked it. And I'm getting all kinds of messages when we're opening registration. I like to be slow because we opened registration for Midwest states
too quick.
and then we
Yep.
had to change the date
Right.
because
Yeah, Labor Day just
it was
messed
Labor
everything
Day.
up.
And so I got to make sure my brain's like back to where it's working 100%.
Right. 'Cause, I mean, even though it was a great race, we still hardly slept. And nothing compares to last year, because the pacing said just like I was
Yeah.
a zombie.
I don't
But
even know
still,
how you
you're
did
kind
that.
of a zombie when you get back and you need like 2 days to think. And Michelle's racing on Saturday. So
Yeah.
she's busy.
Yeah, it should be. That'll be rough because I'm pretty beat today. It kind of caught up to me today. I was like still like mean, like getting everything done, and then today for some reason I'm like, whoa, like why am I so tired? And I suppose yesterday I was a little tired, but then I just went shopping and that woke me up. I had to get a new jacket so I didn't look like Coomer.
All right, so did we talk about the course records at all?
Oh
Talk about
yeah.
the runners now.
Oh yeah.
It's like 3 hours later.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of great stuff that people can go for. And yeah, so we were for the 100 mile, they won each one won $750 for breaking the course record.
Wow.
So that was really cool. And so we had 2 course records. It's for the 100. We had 2 course records for the 100. So Jill Wachita, which is your coach.
Yeah, my coach.
She had the old course record at 16:04:35 for the 100-mile.
This was 2021 when it was super humid.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean,
And it kind of
how
got
amazing.
hotter at night.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
like,
weird year. There was a lot of throwing up that year.
There was. It was
Lots
a
of
little
people.
bit of a weird year. And then, so this year, Rachel Rigona from Wisconsin.
Is it Regina? Is she
might
the
be.
lasagna one?
No, she's not the lasagna one.
So I was
Yeah, that's Michelle Magana.
Okay, so it's Regona, I think. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
So Rachel Rigona from Wisconsin, she's 40. She did it in 14 hours, 37 minutes, and 5 seconds. And then second
So
place
fast.
female from Minnesota, who she had won. She came in. She might have won Superior this year. She had won some big race up in Minnesota.
Okay.
They told me, but I don't remember what it was. We should have looked that up. But she's 39, and she did it in 16:04:21, which actually beat the old course record. So the top 2 people beat the old course record. And then Sarah Sandbor from Michigan, who is 41, did it in 17 hours and 42 minutes. So that was really fast. There was a very high percentage of the people that were under 24 hours.
Okay.
And there was like 20 people under 20 hours. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had that sub 20
That sub 20 buckle. And
Yeah.
it's so fascinating how the, I don't know, 40 minutes going into the sub part, like so many people come through.
Yeah.
And then the same thing, there's a wave right before the 24-hour. It's just
Yeah.
shocking.
So then for the men's, Taggart Van Eaton from Illinois, he was 27, so one of our young runners. 12 hours, 45 minutes, and 59 seconds.
I can't even.
I mean, in the old, Jim Sweeney had the old record, 13 hours, 9 minutes, or 13 hours.
9 minutes, yeah.
9 minutes and 2
yeah.
seconds. And then Chris Stamen from Tennessee was moving all day. He looked really good.
Okay.
He was a late sign up. We actually ended up going through our entire wait list, and then a couple people actually signed up.
Okay.
And we had a really long wait list, but it's because at the end, nobody accepts when you ask them off the wait list because they found another race and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And but Chris Stamen was only 10 seconds off the old record.
Wow.
So the
That was
top
pretty
2
fast. Yeah.
both. And then I was so happy. Juan Moran from Wisconsin, 15 hours and 9 minutes and 45 seconds for his
cow.
first race back.
That's crazy.
And like I said, they all just held steady all day. And then, so let's see, for the 50 mile, we had first place, Jacqueline, I don't know how to say this, Dziewior, Deswire from Iowa for the female, 8 hours, 21 minutes, and 17 seconds. And then Marcy Ambler from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, in 8 hours and 32 minutes,
This is the 50 mile.
the 50 mile.
God, so fast.
And then from Wisconsin, Carla Norton, 8 hours and 52 minutes and 34 seconds. And then for the 50 mile men, first overall was Phil Young from Iowa, which is a couple years in a row.
He's done it.
He's done it. He was on Facebook bragging in a funny way. He's like, just saying, I was way ahead of Taggart for a while. He was doing the 100, I was doing the 50, but I just
Right.
needed to get that out there. And then second place was Peter Solik from Chicago in 7 hours, 30 minutes, and 7 seconds. And then Mike Cohn from McHenry, which is right down from us. And he's coached by Coach Matt from Ornery Mule Racing.
Fun.
And 7 hours, 35 minutes, and 14 seconds.
So fast.
And then for the 50K, let's see, for the men, first place was Sean Sarver, 3 hours, 45 minutes, and 27 seconds. That's fast.
It's like what my 10 miler was today. Not really, but close.
I couldn't do a marathon that way. Like there was a couple times where I was out training on the Hennepin Canal, and I kind of knew what Taggart and like them were going. I'm like, I wonder if I could do 1 mile what they're doing. And I'm doing a speed work today, but I couldn't really do what they're doing.
For her mile.
Well,
for
once
1
you
mile.
can, that's when you can start doing the tunnel races.
Yeah. I'd have to train up for it so I
Yeah.
could race them at the very end. So let's see. I did Sean. So second place was Jeff Friedman, 3 hours and 50 minutes. And third place was Michael Shore. It's 4 hours and 8 minutes and 22 seconds. And then for the females, we had Courtney Kazicki. I don't know how to say it. 4 hours and 50 minutes. And then Janine Anderson, Coach Loretta coaches her.
Okay.
4 hours and 55 minutes
I don't know
for
who the
second
third one
place.
is.
And then third was Jackie Young, who is Fleet Feet Phil's wife from
Wow.
Iowa. She did it in 4 hours and 59 minutes and 48 seconds. And so all of them, they had to race the 50K. Courtney was in the second wave.
Oh.
So the
they had to
first
kinda-
two gals were in the first wave. So,
Okay.
you know, like that's rough.
Right.
Because they knew. I mean, I told them before the race, it's like somebody in the second wave might be faster,
faster
than you.
than
We
you,
won't
yeah.
know until 20 minutes after the race.
Okay.
And Courtney, we were watching the timing, and she was running faster than them.
Wow.
And we knew when they finished, we're like, well, wait 20 minutes, but we've been watching, and there is somebody running faster than you guys did
Okay.
in the second one, but we don't know where she'll end up at.
She ended up in second place.
She ended up in first. So
first.
yeah,
So second wave ended up in first.
second wave ended up in
Wow.
first.
Wow.
So yeah, that was kind of interesting. But for the 50K, all those guys were in the first wave.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of times, you know, like the people taking the bus, like might be with their friends. You know, like
Right.
we're going take the bus to the start. It's more of an adventure. Some of the people that were racing had crew,
Right.
and they were like there at the
Yes.
start. Except for Courtney, badass, taking the bus there and like taking a tour and then having to like, and I felt so bad because, you know, she probably, you know, like I hope in her mind she wasn't like worried
Stressed out,
Yeah.
that
right.
the
That's what I
timing was going to be
thinking.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time your nutrition for that 5 o'clock start.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
It was pretty close.
Yeah. It was only 20 minutes, but so she did
Maybe it
really
helped.
well. Yeah. Helped. Yeah. So it was really good. Like, you know, little
It
tiny
was a
fires.
fast year. Yeah. I feel like this year we've had a fast year at most of our races.
We have.
Yeah. The weather's been good.
We have had.
We've lucked out.
Yeah, Midwest States was fantastic weather.
So great. It's gonna be
Knock wood.
fun. I think bad weather would fit Soul Crusher.
Yeah, it would. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for rain.
Sliding down all those hills.
Yep.
Sliding up the hills.
It'll
Yeah,
crush
so
your
yeah,
soul.
the Jeffs are all excited about Soul Crusher. They're like, you're gonna need to buy more rope. We got another hill.
I still gotta find the rope.
Yeah, so we got Soul Crusher. You can still sign up if as long as we get this podcast out pretty fast. Probably, I think like till the 18th.
Yeah,
I think it
Wednesday.
said.
It's
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'll get this out and
It's a fun, fast race that will crush your soul.
yeah, 5 and 10 mile.
Yeah.
And I mean, they crush taking care of that
Yeah.
course. There's like skeletons.
Oh,
and
it's a fun
so
race.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten bigger this year. We need to get more runners than we're at, but it has grown.
Yeah. Definitely.
And what else do we got?
And so
Yeah,
Michelle has a race this weekend, and then Ornery Mule wise, there's Javelina is a big
Yeah.
race that we're going out to.
Yeah, I'm just doing a 50K training run. It's a race, but it's a
Right.
training run for Tunnel Hill.
Oh, right, and then
And
Tunnel
it's
Hill.
then it's supposed to rain for my race this weekend. But that's good. I'm glad. I would rather get rained on than have all of our runners
Right.
get rained on last weekend.
Yeah.
And us.
Yeah.
It was it was my favorite race so far.
Hennepin?
Like work wise.
Yeah.
Midwest States is my favorite race.
Midwest States has
I love
got
it.
something really special
Yeah.
going on.
I like all our races. I
yeah.
mean, I love all our races, but Midwest States is just
But
love it up there.
it has a similar feeling to Hennepin because Hennepin, the community just comes out and supports. And
That's the
same
other
with-
thing is that competes with it. I mean, I could sit here for the next 3 hours and just talk about Sherry and the.
She stayed all night long.
I know the whole time, and she's like she acts like she's my aunt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she just acts like she's no. And I
hope we
love
get
her.
a picture of her.
I mean, yeah. So like, if you run Hennepin, if you can hang out at the finish at all,
Yeah.
the people from Kelowna are just probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. It's just, it has a different feel. It's very homey and, like inclusive, which fits us.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's
Also, people had so many PRs.
oh yeah.
It was so fun to watch people PR
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
race.
Megan
Velkamp,
Velkamp,
Ryan
like by
Steiner.
yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. That PR bell was ringing a lot all night long.
Yeah, everybody was no virgins anymore and
Right?
ringing PR
Yeah,
bells.
yeah. It was super fun. It was super fun.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that we need? So, well, I guess I'm going to American Trail Running Association conference to continue to educate to be the best kind of race company that we can be. I'm taking the red eye home from that. I fly out and I arrive at 5 a.m. and then have to get drove to the start of Soul Crusher.
Yeah,
So,
Saturday, the day of the race.
the day of the race. And then on Monday we drive out to Javelina after that, and
then they stay out there until they hit Tunnel Hill on their way back.
yeah,
So
so we're gonna miss Nikki
Nikki's so sad.
and our cats, and then so we've got it's our downtime.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, after you get back, that's our downtime.
Yeah, we'll start planning.
That's what we plan. Yeah, that's what we're planning for all next year.
Yeah, I got into Barkley.
Yeah, that'll be so fun.
So we're going out there. I booked the Airbnb today for that. I guess that Barkley, I found out
Barkley
from Jenny.
Classic.
Yeah, the Barkley, the fall classic. You have to be really careful where you book your room and know what time zone you're in, because I guess a lot of people are late because it's like
of the
you're
time
only like
it's a
15
close-
minutes away and it'll be a different time zone. And Jenny sent me to a bunch of links today of people going, yeah, I pulled in thinking I was an hour early and the race started in like 2 minutes.
Good to know.
Laz probably does that on purpose.
Probably.
So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, and thanks for listening.
Good times.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye everyone.